him. So just a great opportunity, and looking forward to it.
He's famous for the hard count, getting free plays. Has anyone talked to you about that? What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's been an emphasis for us. He's one of the best at drawing people off sides, and then having substitutional things where he gets 12 people on the field, gets a free play, makes big chunk plays. So we've been practicing that and know he's looking to do that, so we're on it.
Coach Schwartz done a good job mimicking that hard count?
Who?
Coach Schwartz.
Oh, yeah.
He's done a good job.
He does it all the time. He does it in the meeting rooms when we're leaving the meeting rooms. So he's on it, us for.
Have you heard any specific stories about this rivalry that really kind of surprised you at all?
I haven't heard any specific stories now.
Having played in, like what you asked earlier, like one of the greatest rivalries in sports, how has that sort of prepared you to get to this level and play in a rivalry and not be able to sort of keep your emotions in check and just treat it as like another game in a way? How has that kind of prepared you?
Yeah, I mean, usually in college, your rivalry game is like one of the more bigger games in the season, but I feel like in NFL every week's a big game. You're playing against the best people in America, so just another challenge, and I'm excited for it.
What has Miles done to kind of paint the picture of this rivalry for you?
He hasn't done anything crazy, just keep the main thing. Rush good together, play good together, and just play good defense, and it'll take care of itself.
Jim said yesterday that he was still having a hard time keeping food down after the defense didn't get the stop it needed at the end of that Vikings game. So how do you guys, respond to the way that game turned?
We just got to bounce back. We've lost a few close games here, and we just got to find ways to, execute. There's a few plays here, a few plays there. Just need to execute better, and we'll come out on top on those.
When you went back and watched that last drive, did anything stand out to you as far as we needed to do this better to close it out?
Just work together better as a defense. Be on the same page. I don't know exactly the specifics. I don't know if there's communicational errors, but just things we can clean up. Yeah.
It seems like when we're in here, you and Dylan Gabriel kind of talking a lot. How has your relationship kind of grown with him, and what have you seen from him so far this season? Show that he can lead us.
Yeah, we've been close. Just kind of like similar to how we came in as the college. We're like freshmen almost, but at the next level, so rookies. Just kind of keeping that class tight, and knowing that's going to be the foundation of this team moving forward. Everything Dylan does, he does everything the right way, conducts his business, all about business. So he's getting his opportunity now, and he's just prepared to be the starter from the start. So.
And Shador was named backup today, so another guy from your class, and are you guys ready to rally around him as well in the event that he gets in the game too?
Yeah, we're rallying around anyone who's out there on the field playing for us. So that's always our main goal.
Your reaction, Joe gets traded on Tuesday, Wednesday night, Greg gets traded. Just what's that like for a rookie getting a taste of the business side of it?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a business. Things happen. I think Greg got traded at 11 p.m. So things can just happen at any moment, and just cherish it. We obviously got a player in exchange for him, but looking forward to that and moving forward.
Thanks, Mason. Appreciate it.
How you doing?
How surprised were you to kind of get the call and say, you're getting traded from Jacksonville?
I was surprised. Called me late at night, got the call. Was in shock. So yeah.
Jim Schwartz yesterday, when he talked to us, talked about how he thinks you could be a scheme fit for here. That seems to be the consensus. I guess, what do you think about that? And especially earlier in your career, how similar do you think this scheme is compared to that?
I think it's pretty much similar. Playing a lot of press man and getting handling receivers, being physical. So I think it definitely fits.
Tyson, how do you kind of process the emotions? You sign that extension there, you think you're going to be there for a long time, and then all of a sudden they move on from you. How do you kind of process those emotions?
You just take it day by day. Continue to, lean on God, stay in prayer, read your word. So that's what I've been doing. Just taking it one day at a time, control what I can control.
You feel like you're ready?
What about the fact that you played in a big emotional game the other night, and big victory, and you guys moved to 4-1, and it's all exciting, and then you wake up. You're on another football team, not only a team that's now 1-4 kind of struggling. How about the emotion or the roller coaster of all of that?
Yeah, it was an emotional roller coaster, but like I said before, just lean on my faith in God and prayer, and leaning on Him, and just feeling accepted here. Adjusting, getting a groove in Cleveland.
You feel like your crash course here will have you ready for Sunday, as ready as you can be?
Yeah, I feel so. Doing my part as far as studying the playbook, watching the tape, meeting with coaches.
Did you have any contact with the Browns in the draft process? Do you remember?
Yeah, I met with the Browns a few times during the process.
Did you ever get a vibe that maybe they would take you?
No, I didn't.
How do you get ready for a game in 3 days?
Going over film, studying the playbook, being next to with coaches, and, of course, getting live reps in practice.
What about logistically? Where do you put your stuff while you're in the process of moving in the middle of a game?
Well, I just took what I can, to be ready for this week. For a couple weeks, and then, talk with the people on the team about, getting movers and stuff like that. So.
Tyson, just wondering, how much have you watched Denzel Ward over the years? Did you guys know each other at all before you got here?
I've been aware of Denzel ever since I was in high school. Watching him play at Ohio State, and then also become a Pro Bowler in this league multiple times. So Denzel has definitely been a corner that whose game I admire.
Do you think this could be, I know you just got here, and it's a little bit of a crash course, but just your first glance at things, do you feel like this could be a really good fit for you from a schematic standpoint and accentuating what you do well?
I think so. Just being able to, be a physical, smart player, playing fast. I think, it doesn't take, I feel like I'm a smart player, so it wouldn't take much for me to, get used to a scheme.
Coach Lynch was telling us this morning that Denzel has already kind of, you guys have already started to talk to each other a little bit, and you've already started to pick his brains, ask him some questions. And how's that going so far?
It's going well. He's been helping me a lot as far as the scheme and what things to look at and stuff like that. So he's definitely been a big help for me to make my adjustment here.
Jim Schwartz mentioned a few times how physical you are. How much pride in that do you take, and where does that come from?
It just come from just always playing like that ever since I was little. Not being scared of contact, making my presence felt, and just wanting to win and, make my 10 other teammates, look good on the field. So just take a lot of pride in that, and winning football game is the main goal.
And how did it feel to have to kind of come in here and just, everybody's still feeling so emotional about losing one of their favorite guys in the great reason? Was that hard to step in and know that there were feelings like that going on here?
Yeah, it's tough, man. It was my first time being traded, so it was a lot of emotions. But like I said before, just taking day by day, putting my faith in God, and just feeling welcomed by my teammates.
I know we make a lot of the scheme change, getting used to it. But how much of it is just like football is football? Like on Sunday,
a lot of it is football, but just learning the languages and how guys talk, with different adjustments and stuff like that. So
your first game here, going up against Aaron Rodgers. Talk about what you think that is going to be like.
Aaron Rodgers is a great player. Still a great team, and just a AFC North, divisional game. So I know it's a big game. I know it's going to be a physical game. So I'm excited.
Do you think you've gotten used to the idea yet that you were traded? I mean, you said how shocking it was. And it was only Wednesday night. Is it settled in to you?
Pretty much. Yeah, this is my second day of practice, so pretty much feeling adjusted.
And how do you process going from a team that looks like it's gunning for the playoffs to a team now kind of just fighting for everything that it's going to try to get? What's that like?
I think just having awareness, the situation you're in, and trying to fix whatever it is that can help the team win games, whether it be our practice habits or our communication. So just trying to hone in on those and try to be helpful as I possibly can.
Who was the first guy? Who was the first guy you heard from in this locker room? Did somebody reach out to you like Tuesday or Wednesday night or Thursday?
No. Once I got here, that's when I started talking to people. Yeah.
What about the fact that that you just stepped into the number 2 defense overall, number 1 against the run, tied for 4th against the pass? Is that kind of an exciting thing for you to come into a defense that's this good?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. Knowing Cleveland's been known to pride themselves on having a dominant physical defense. So, that's something that, once you get here, you got to buy into, and I'm excited to buy into it. And, I feel welcomed by the guys and ready to, be part of the culture.
Along those lines, I mean, seeing this D-line and the pressure they can create, how exciting is that?
That's exciting. It means you don't have to cover that long. So, coverage and rush work together. So, as long as I cover well, that allows them to have more time to get to the quarterback. They get to the quarterback fast, we don't have to cover as long. So we work hand in hand.
What about a receiver like DK Metcalf? What do you think it's going to be like to try to have to cover him?
It's going to be a challenge. Like every other week when you go against any receiver, big physical receiver, and can make plays with the ball in his hand. So I'm excited.
Good.
Thank you.